Chapter 9.
Brass tactics! Use 'em or die trying!
The squad ascended back into orbit. As Pandora sat to the right of Chief Duke Raven, she noticed he had modified his prosthetic arm and leg. There appeared to be a knife, an audio speaker, buttons, with many other minor additions, adjustments, and enhancements. Most notable were words that had most likely been carved with the leg knife into his right arm.
Et ascended a terra in caelum, iterum descent interum, et recipit vim superiorum et inferiorum.
She pointed at the Latin.
What's that?
Raven responded.
A tattoo.
She dug deeper.
What does it mean?
Raven's body language showed he was uncomfortable.
As above, so below.
Pandora was about to ask another question when not interrupted. Because a Helldiver should live by a code and die by a code. It's how you're true to yourself, how you live with yourself, and how you know thyself. There may be nothing but the present moment, but the end is important in all things. They exited Pelican 1, returned the spear and backpack to the stratagem supply sergeant, stepped upon a lift, and were brought out of the hangar bay to the main command deck level. Music and sparklers announced their victory, while salutes, a bow, and the flexing of a prosthetic arm physically celebrated the returning Helldivers. Not spoke to the squad. Fired or not, get every triggered weapon to the service technician for a look over. Nobody likes sand, it gets everywhere. They each handed over their primary and secondary weapons to Technician Elgrin. Pandora's helmet was still off, and she was last in the quay line. The service technician had never spoken to her, and took this opportunity to do so.
Helldiver! Every day you put yourself at risk to defend freedom and liberty, and I just want to say, thank you.
Pandora had never been thanked for being a Helldiver or a democracy officer. Emotion welled in her heart. There were no words that could communicate how gratitude could make the worst trials and tribulations worth risking your life over. To just have all of your caring and effort expressed in your work acknowledged by having someone care about you. Pandora had lost her words, so she saluted the service technician. At that moment, her body was there, but her mind and heart was with Isabel. As Pandora walked to the bridge, she put on her helmet. They didn't need to know her emotions or even guess what she was feeling at that moment. Back to the mission, back to the bridge. Death handed her a list of level 2 difficulty missions, listed as easy on a datapad.
1. Purge hatcheries. 2. Eliminate brood commanders. 3. Spread democracy. 4. Conduct geological survey. 5. Evacuate colonists. 6. Activate E710 pumps.
She said.
Let me guess, more brood commanders?
Death answered.
It can be. The brood commanders at this point are on their second egg-laying session of warrior terminates and below. Evacuating colonists, conduct geological survey, activate E710 pumps, and the multiple eradication mop-up mission of spread democracy is still within the SEAF capabilities. However, the hatcheries are heavily guarded, patrolled, and ready to breach the nest under it. The hatcheries are her third session, and she's already gone to find new territory. These ones are filled with Charger and Commander-level spore eggs. Just as the brood commanders are the escalation point for trivial missions, hatcheries are the escalation point for all missions above trivial. Level 9 missions that don't get those spore eggs purged end up as a mega nest. As of now, we can only solve that problem with an ICBM because we don't have Helldivers experienced enough to validate the risk.
Raven interrupted.
Stealth in. 380 millimeters left side and walking barrage the right side. Have the swarm chase you through incendiary grenades into heavy turrets. Hold what you got.
Death corrected.
We don't have enough experienced Helldivers for command to issue the risk allowance yet.
Not pointed to the holographic map. We don't know the structure securing the eggs. Could be a walkway, could be a dead end. Any drop point around it could be solid. So, two options. One, we land, gear up, then make enough noise around the eggs for a controlled bug breach. Turn it into a stand up fight and clear the area. Then we go count eggs before they hatch. Or two, the way of the samurai is one of immediacy, and it is best to dash in headlong. Hot drop into the nest, destroy it so fast that the bugs can't keep up. Nothing with heavy armor expected, so we pop a Gatling sentry or two AMG 43 sentries when we bounce out. Your call, cadet. Pondura took a breath.
Controlled combat with full gear. I'd prefer to be patient, smarter and better armed, rather than faster.
Pondura was surprised to see Raven nodding his approval. Not continued. Regardless of our opening move, we go north, upload this escape pod's data, and then take out the secondary hatchery east by northeast. Same plan. Controlled combat, with your head on a swivel. Extraction due west, nothing fancy. Let's go, in and out 10-minute adventure. Raven corrected.
20 minutes with feckless Frank driving.
Pondura was about to ask what Raven meant, but not explained. It takes us about 1.5 minutes to get back up to the ship with a fully geared squad, but 2 to 3 minutes for Pelican 1 to get down to extraction empty. Raven's professional attitude finds this unacceptable, and although he's right, it will be the last time he complains about it in front of a cadet. Raven's microphone was off, but Pondura could still hear Raven sigh tersely through his filters as he nodded capitulation. Not made a selection on the hologram, then stopped leaning against the war map and began walking to the hellpods.
Mission coordinates locked. Hellpods primed.
All of them locked into position, then began selecting their gear and stratagems. Not spoke. You didn't need it last mission, but a rover pack would be a good move this time. Unless there is something you can't wait to try, I'll use your MG43 no problem. But choose something that validates an empty pack slot, if you go that direction. There was something Pondura wanted to try, and this mission was easy enough to justify the training.
The lift 850?
Death chuckled.
Can't deny everyone is dead set on using that at least once.
Not replied. Hell, I was using the jump pack this morning. One by one, they each saluted in their pods to affirm their readiness. Not waited to be last so he could review the squad's loadout. When he saluted, he did it with a certainty of victory. Liberty launchers, locked and loaded. The hell pod's drop was imminent. Let's give 'em hell!